All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday. Always happy to see our good friend Florent from 21 Wines, and then Craig the winemaker for Somerston Estate and Priest Ranch. This is an incredible property. Was it 1,200 acres, 1,650 acre property, and these guys have their own, livestock up there. I mean, almost totally self-sufficient, and they make some outstanding wines. They also sell their grapes to a lot of top-level vintners. So the fruit up here is getting some big-time recognition. The Priest Ranch Sauvignon Blanc 2014. I always say Sauvignon Blanc from Napa is a cheap date, man. This is typical Napa Sauvignon Blanc. It's got that white grapefruit, green melon, fig kind of fruit on the nose, hints of that musky, fresh herbs, getting stronger as the wine opens up, really fresh and zesty on the tongue, a good amount of that ripe melon and fig fruit, and a nice tongue-tingling minerality through the finish, very good juice. The Priest Ranch Grenache Blanc, they only got 7 acres of Grenache Blanc here. You don't see a lot of this varietal planted. A good amount of white peach and pear fruit. Notes of white flowers and stones here. Nice weight to the palate. This wine, it's got some nice juicy white peach fruit complemented by pretty white floral notes and a nice freshness to this wine, a nice minerality. A very good example of this variety. From California at $22.50, the Priest Ranch Cabernet Sauvignon Estate. One of the better values from Napa at $45. This wine's got a good amount of dark currant and plum fruit, notes of mocha, hints of fresh earth, dark tobacco spice, dark chocolate. Really nice complexity on the nose here. A good amount of juicy dark cherry and black currant fruit on the tongue, ripe round tannins. These 2013s are big, and they're going to need some time. A little bit dry on the finish. But this wine is very well balanced, excellent juice. Keep it open for a couple hours at least, $45. The Coach Gun, the smoking gun. This is mostly Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Malbec, and Petit Verdot. This wine's got a lovely intensity to the nose. As, like I said, all these 13s, very concentrated and rich. Nice spice in the bouquet, black pepper, espresso, bitter chocolate, and a lot of dark berry fruit, blueberries, blackberries, and really deep and rich, some smoky notes. This wine's big and chewy. It's got some tannin, some bitter cocoa notes, and dark spice on the finish. Everything in proportion. Most excellent juice at $84. All right, the Priest Ranch Petite Sirah. I've had this wine in the store for a while. I'm not a huge fan of Petite Sirah, but this one, the 11 vintage, even very balanced. Doesn't have a lot of that green note, maybe just a tiny amount of it that these 11s have had. Blackberry, blueberry fruit, notes of wild game, espresso, bitter chocolate, cedar coming out as this wine opens. Very smooth, though. And these 11s drinking very nicely. Even big wines like Petite Sirah don't need a lot of time. That espresso and dark chocolate coming through on the finish. Then the Somerston Stornaway. This is a single vineyard wine, 16 acres. A single block of that 16 acres goes, and a lot of this fruit goes to Paul Meyer. Like I said, some big names buy fruit from Somerston Ranch. 87% Merlot. The rest is Cabernet Franc. And this wine has that lovely plum and dark cherry fruit you get out of Merlot. Some sweet herbs, some milk chocolate. And I like the plushness that Merlot has on the texture. A similar wine to Cabernet, but Merlot just seems more velvety and plush on the palate, not as dry and caustic as Cabernet is. This wine's got some nice acidity, though, keeping things firmly in place. Excellent juice. At $97, then the Deerhound, Somerston 2013. This wine very dark and rich, spices, bitter chocolate, dark berry fruit, very well endowed. A dark color here. A host of earth, espresso, and more as this wine opens. It's a 14-acre site here, and this wine is big and chewy on the tongue. Like I said, these 13s need some time. Everything's in proportion here. I'm going to recommend opening this the day before you want to drink it. Most excellent juice. All right, and then the Celestial Cabernet Sauvignon, a single block in the 11 acres. They make 490 cases of this wine, a tiny production for $135, a relative value from small producers that are making wine at this price level. This wine very well endowed, rich dark currants, cassis, dark spices, tobacco, just more and more as this wine opens up. Even more complex on the second day. I keep everything to taste twice, just to double check. This wine's big and chewy, man. Lots of cassis and currant berry fruit. A host of that spice and nuance from the nose coming through on the finish. This wine needs time. Like I said, are even better on the second day. Most excellent juice at $135 it should be. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.